With highs in the mid-80s, chance for storms continues. Get up to the minute weather updates from the Weatherology Weather Center. I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley on this NWKS radio station. Right now, 72.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people, Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Breathe easy.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
With T-Mobile, you can save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, we'll pay off your locked AT&T phone up to $650, and you get a new 5G phone for free.
Pay out via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying planning credit plus tax and $35 connection charge. Contact us before canceling to continue bill credits or they stop and required finance agreement balances due. See T-Mobile.com.
Keep your ride running at peak performance by scheduling an appointment with the Daves at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Hurl's has a full-service service department where they'll work on all makes and models, not just GM. They do tire repair and replacement. They'll make sure your AC is running at its best for these hot summer months. Plus, customers who bought a used vehicle from Hurl's get a lifetime warranty and reduced oil change prices. So get your appointment scheduled today by calling 785-890-0000. That's 890-0000 and ask for Dave. You're sure to get one of them.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery ingestion and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
When you walk into your local Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, you'll see that Nick and the staff have a little bit of everything for the warmer months ahead. Keep the lawn in shape with mowers, blowers, and trimmers from Craftsman, Toro, and Ego. Freshen up the look of a room or the whole place with Benjamin Moore paints. Keep the family fed and happy with grills from Traeger, Weber, and Blackstone. And be sure to take advantage of the lower lumber prices. Plus, they're looking for people to join their amazing teams at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, with locations in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
A long line of green machines, combines, and farm equipment on the lots right now at American Implement, your John Deere dealer. New as well as a great selection of used local late models. And with the extra inventory, well, they're cutting extra good deals on these cutting machines. Of course, the parts and service departments, they're geared up for the busy season. Hey, remember, when you work with your local American Implement salesman, you have access to all the inventory at all locations of American Implement, your John Deere dealer in Colby, Oakley, Goodland, and Wheeler.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate, because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Vince's GM Center is once again teaming up with the Burlington Chamber of Commerce as the proud sponsor of the Celebration of Summer Car, Truck, Motorcycle, and Antique Tractor Show at Farmer Park in Burlington on Saturday, June 15th. Car show registration is open from 8 to 11 a.m. on the day of the event, or pre-register up until midnight on June 14th to save $5 on the entry fee. There'll be something for everyone, including a 5K pet-friendly run-walk, craft vendors, food vendors, and a beer garden, live music, a cornhole tournament, and free swim at the Burlington Pool. For more information or to pre-register, visit vincesgmcenter.com or burlingtoncochamber.com. Celebration of Summer in Burlington on June 15th.
Rise and shine. It's butt whipping time.
It's time
time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
That broadcast school has really paid off.
And Christian Peck-Dimit.
Do you want to keep this job? Shut up, listen, learn.
The region's only local sports talk show, discussing it all from the preps to the pros.
What time is it? Game time!
Simulcasting on AM 730 Fox Sports Tri-State, streaming online at nwksradio.net and the Rockingham app.
They are everywhere.
The Blitz is presented by the Insurance Agency, the Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
He's to the fifth minute. Goes to work here. Here's a center.
Pitch is hit pretty well to left field. Reynolds going back to the warning track, leaps. It's gone! Touch of all time. The Grand Tour. Michael Tolia. It's a rocket, but right at Lodi's. It's over. Florida State wins it and stays alive in Omaha and knocks out Virginia. Good contacts.
Travis Love ran up there. Right below the hole goes DeChambeau, and he's pumped up.
3-2. And the pitch. And a swing and a high fly ball. Deep right field. Right fielder back. Hayward looking up. It's gone. It's a grand slam. MJ Melendez. A grand slam. Home run. The Royals take the lead. It's 5-2.
1-2. Honeycutt pulls it. Left field. No doubt for Vance Honeycutt.
Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. We're back. It's the Morning Blitz on 102.5 URock, AM 730 Fox Sports Tri-State, NWKSradio.net, the Rockingham app. So glad you're with us here on a Monday, no matter which way you are listening, or if you're watching via the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. We're glad to be with you here after a great weekend. How was the weekend, CPD? Was it eventful?
It was uneventful, and that's just the way that we like it. It was great. I did absolutely nothing. Played some golf, watched a lot of TV, watched some golf, watched some baseball, watched some good stuff this weekend.
How much has your golf score improved since you started playing golf? I'd love to know. Strokes.
So I started last July or so. And I think the first time out, I shot a 70 something, like a 70 on 9 holes. I shot like a 77 or a 76. So I shot the best I've ever scored is a 56. So a lot, certainly, but a low bar for improvement when that's where you start. How was Ross's weekend?
It was fun. Went up to the lake, caught a lot of sun. If you see on the video stream, it's not as bad. It's pretty red. I put sunscreen on, but for some reason, I'm like I'm the worst sunscreen, whatever you want to call it. I put it on, but it just for some reason I still get pinked up or red up. So there's some pictures out there that we took this weekend where my arms are like really red, but I'm not in any pain, so I'll take that as a victory. That's for sure. So it's nice. Had a nice time, and now it's back to work. That's just the way it is. So back to work. As always, hit us up throughout the show on the F&B Bank text line, the number 785-899-2222. It is a Monday, and that means we have our weekend winners as well as our weekend losers.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners. Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Want to be a winner, be a winner.
By the way, I forgot to mention a first quick winner of the weekend to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day weekend. Hope everyone had a great Father's Day on Sunday. I had a nice one. Hope everyone had a great Father's Day weekend, no matter what you were doing. If you love sports, it was a great weekend for it. You had Major League Baseball. You had the College World Series on. Of course, the U.S. Open. Of course, the NHL and NBA playoffs are still going on because they found a way to win a Game 4 just barely. Christian likes to say a gentleman's sweep happening there possibly in both series.
So it's a great. Hope first of all, first one of the week, and all the dads out there. I saw this video on social media. They were talking about where does Father's Day rank in the rankings of holidays celebrated. Yeah. What do you think number one was for holidays celebrated across? Across the
Christmas, right?
Yeah, Christmas is number one. That's right. You know what number two is? This was
I would hope that it's Easter or something. Are you saying in the country or in the world?
I think it's in the country.
Could be Thanksgiving then.
The second most celebrated one is Mother's Day.
Really?
And then the best part is where do dads come in this rankings? This was on this video. I have no evidence of backing this up, but it was just funny. Where dads come in? 18th.
I don't even think there are 18 holidays. Come on.
Behind Halloween and Arbor Day.
Behind Arbor Day?
And behind Columbus Day are where dads fall in here. So, Dad, you are a winner of the weekend to me. Dads out there, my dad, everybody's dad. So you rank higher than 18th in my line of work, but that's all right. It was just a fun little video I saw, which I don't know how anyone fact check that, but it just was kind of funny to see that. Mom's coming number 2 behind Christmas, and dads are 18th behind Columbus Day and Arbor Day.
Moms are great. I love my mom, but number 2 is ridiculous. Shout out to my dad, Greg Dimmitt, up in Michigan. Hope he had a great Father's Day, but 18 is a little wild. And getting beat by Arbor Day is disrespectful. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Trees are more important than dad, apparently. That's the way it is. Anyway, let's move on with our weekend winners and losers. Who's your first winner of this past weekend? A loaded weekend in the sports world.
An absolutely loaded weekend, Ross. You're right. It's not me. I went out golfing last night and left 3 putts about an inch from the hole, which is unfortunate.
That sounds like somebody I know. Anyway, go ahead.
You ruined. Yeah, my transition was gonna be just like someone I know, but yeah, it's the weekend winner. We're gonna go with Bryson DeChambeau. We've got a couple of winners, but I think he takes the cake. He's my biggest one from this weekend. He is now a 2-time U.S. Open winner. Got it a couple of years ago when they showed the replay of him on that sort of champion stretch, walking up the 18th in the middle of COVID, and there was exactly 0 cheering going on, and it was just a couple of members and staff workers clapping it up for him, and to see the juxtaposition of that to him pumping up the crowd, and he works the crowd maybe better than anyone in the game of golf today. Very charismatic, and gave that huge fist pump afterwards. But a big winner of the weekend, Bryson DeChambeau, who had one of the better par saves maybe I've ever seen given the situation on that 18th after watching Rory do what Rory did, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'm sort of deciding whether to have him as a weekend loser or just talk about him up in here. But Rory did what Rory did, and Bryson had now a shot knowing that par would get him a win here. And remember that Rory was just about a hole ahead of Bryson. So going on that 18th, as he stepped up to the tee, he saw where Rory was, and after he hit his tee shot, he saw Rory miss that putt. So DeChambeau knew exactly what he needed to do and where he needed to go to get that win. But he hit his tee shots. First off, his tee shots were terrible yesterday. Could not find a fairway for one of, if not the best drivers in the game of golf. And his tee shot went so far left on 18 that he asked the official, it got tucked up behind the grandstand, where he asked the rules official for line of sight relief, which he did not get. And then that ball not only was all the way tucked up behind the grandstand, but he had to hunch over. He had a tree over his back. The ball was sitting right up next to a root on this terrible little line on that native grass area, and just sort of shanks it out there, gets it out of trouble, and sends it into more trouble, right down into the bunker. And it was a long bunker shot, a steep bunker shot, and just stuck it. He put it, I don't know, about 6 feet from the hole. A beautiful, beautiful bunker shot on an incredible par save. And just a weekend winner. Certainly DeChambeau, who was in danger of throwing it away at multiple times throughout Sunday. And it was sort of just this valiant effort the entire day. If you watched not only that 18th hole that was masterful and almost heroic, but he had par saves of that measure throughout the day. I was texting my buddy that, I don't know, he was maybe on 13 or 14, and I'm thinking, the text is almost exactly word for word that Bryson's trying to give this thing away. He should be +3 on the day right now, but he was -1 because the guy just found ways to par holes when he had absolutely no business doing it. A valiant effort and a winner of the weekend. Now 2-time U.S. Open winner, Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, if you like golf, you should have loved yesterday because there was great drama. You had Bryson, who had a 3-shot lead going into the final round on Sunday. He kind of, like you said, because of his inability to hit the fairways and kind of missing some putts early on, allowed Rory to come, to get right back up next, and they were neck and neck. And yeah, I mean, it was really high entertaining television. It really was. I was watching it on my way back home, and it was very, very entertaining to see, the spot, to see Rory miss that putt on 18 and the other putts that he missed and the putts that DeChambeau missed down the stretch, which allowed him to be neck and neck going into 18, and then Rory to miss that putt. And you knew as soon as he missed it, you're like, uh-oh, that's going to lead to a loss. And the door was wide open for DeChambeau. But then the following thing they show is him hitting it over there to the left side up against that root, and then he puts it into the sand, which honestly, I kind of laugh. I'd kind of like to see the U.S. Open instead of that sand where it's nice, light, and I would call it fluffy sand. Really, give me some of that compacted crap that we have to play on out here. That stuff that's a little bit harder sand. Give me that stuff. Give me that stuff.
Local municipal course sand where it's got
sand. Put that out there. Then let's see him splash that thing up there. Because that was really a heck of a shot. It was great. There are some amazing stats on The Athletic about the stats about DeChambeau. I mean, he's the first player to win the U.S. Open with 5 or fewer hit fairways in a final round since 2007. Just the 4th player in history to win a U.S. amateur and multiple U.S. Open championships. Let's see what else here. Some other cool ones. It was just neat because, that was the place of Payne Stewart. That had that iconic, the fist pump leg in the air type deal. That's where it happened. And he was an SMU guy himself, as is Bryson DeChambeau. So that's pretty cool too.
He had a little pin for him on the.
Yep, had the pin on the back. Yep, it was very cool to see that deal. And what is and really Bryson's playing great golf right now. I know he didn't win the last couple of tournaments, but he's been right there. He's been right there in these.
He led
major
the first
tournaments.
2 days of the Masters. He had a one-stroke lead, lost to Xander a couple weeks ago.
Kind of setting up for this. It really has been setting up for this for Bryson DeChambeau. My question is to you and to the listeners, if you want to chime in on the F&B Bank text line 785-899-2222. Do you like him as a person, as a golfer? Do you like him, or do you think he's kind of a, I'm going to say tool, because he kind of gives off that vibe. When you think about DeChambeau, he was fine. He was kind of a normal guy. And then he kind of got in this rivalry with Brooks Koepka, and those two love to go after each other. Bryson put on all this weight and bulked up, saying that no one can contain my strength. No course can contain my strength. And now he's slimmed back down and he's won some more. He kind of has, he's very, very scientific. That's why he's got the long putter, and he's got, I think all of his clubs are all the same length. He does things very differently than everybody else on tour. And I don't know, do people like him? I mean, he makes that putt and he goes berserko, shaking and going crazy, which is fine. I don't have anything against that. afterwards, he's out there running around in the night, letting people touch the cup. There was a cool deal on I think it was there was that guy who's out there, kind of the field guy, the manager, walking the course with them, and they were doing something late at night when it was dark. You have to check out this video where he was practicing. He was like, let me show you what the shot
was on the telecast.
Yeah, it was on the telecast. And let me show you how that was as it dark. And so the guy's out there in the sand trap trying to make this shot, and he blades one. As soon as that happens, here comes Bryson, because he was out, having people touch the cup. He comes in, and they gave him a microphone. They were sitting there talking with him about the shot, and he goes, do it again. And the guy grabbed a club and did it again. He knocked it within a couple feet, and they went crazy. And Bryson handed him the cup. Here, celebrate. I mean, I don't know what to think of him. I really want to like Bryson DeChambeau. I liked him before he got in this whole, contest with Brooks Koepka and kind of becoming a little weird. And then he went to live, and that adds a whole nother layer. So I'm curious, do people like Bryson DeChambeau? Do you not like Bryson DeChambeau? What are your thoughts of DeChambeau as a golfer and as a person?
785-899-2222. Get your opinions in on him, because as far as I can tell, this is sort of he's been helped a lot with my generation because of his work on social media. And I'll be real, I didn't follow golf this closely until a couple of years ago, so I sort of missed the parts of him being a tool. But I certainly understand what went into all of that, and that he basically was. But he's sort of had this redemption arc almost, where he's huge on YouTube. He goes out, he films when he plays and talks to the camera and sort of gets to show off his charisma and stuff. And when you see people on social media, on YouTube, you get a little bit more of their personality, and you get to see them talk to the camera about, normally I would do this here, but I think this tree's going to come into play, so hands are going to be in front of the club. I'm going to try to flight it low. They talk through shots, and you get him being a little bit of a crazy mad scientist and all this unique stuff, where his 8-iron is really a 6-iron, but not actually a 6-iron, and all of his clubs are 3D printed, and he soaks his balls in Epsom salt to find the heavier part. It's crazy. He's an absolute mad scientist, and honestly, I absolutely love him. I love, in a sport that is the way that it is, to have a guy that's so charismatic and energetic and joyful and works the crowd the way that he does. And evidently he had promised the crowd, I guess, throughout the weekend, or I think leading up, that, hey, if I win, I'm going to let everyone touch the trophy. So what does he do the second he gets his hands on the trophy? Is walk around the grandstands and let everyone reach out and touch the trophy. You also see him in the post-game presser get that nice balance of, when asked about Rory, being very humble and a class act, and I wouldn't wish that missed putt on anyone, and he's still going to win many more majors, blah blah blah, all of the humility, but then gives you those funny charismatic moments where it's are you going to drink something out of the cup, out of the trophy? And he goes, oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of chocolate milk in there. And I don't think that was sarcasm, by the way. He was chugging chocolate milk in the post-game presser. But I think by all accounts, he is sort of in the middle of a redemption arc right now, and the people love him.
Well, I'm guessing he's had to do some work, because when you leave PGA to go to the Live, where you're going to make a ton of money, but you aren't going to be liked, you're going to have to do some work to fix that up, and he's certainly done that. So it is a redemption story for Bryson DeChambeau. I'm starting to like him more, even though he's still, I think a Live guy, but, we just got to get used to it. I mean, if you're going to get paid more money to play less, that's fine. And it's a win for Live Golf, because they really haven't had a whole lot of success, in these tournaments, have Live golfers, because they just don't play as much in the Live Tour. And so things are a little bit easier. And also a real win for American golf. That's the 6th straight American to win a major. 6th straight American. So a little bit of a downer for Scotty. Yeah. And most of it, Scotty, who, by the way, finished 8 over par. It was not a Scotty Scheffler type weekend. That was rough. And shout out to USGA and the US Open. That course was challenging, and I love that the final winning score was like 6 under par. That's the best. By the way, he also became the first ever golfer to win a major while finishing over par on his final round. He shot a 71 to DeChambeau. Par is 70 there at Pinehurst number 2. So he was 1 over par, but he still won the tournament. Hung on to get the W.
And I was thinking about this afterwards because I saw some analysis of it. And you think about, you almost should have seen this coming, where it was Rory and Bryson, 2 of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world, having success on this course, because you need those high apexes. You need these high dropping balls for those greens, because my goodness, it was exactly as advertised. Those were ugly bloodbaths on a lot of those greens. When you think about the fact that both Bryson and Rory are going to use a lot less club on the par 3s, attacking the par 4s because their drives are so good, distance-wise at least, they probably should have been the guys up there on that course. But I do want to show something real quick. It's always interesting to see how social media reacts, because that's, I think, where you tend to get a lot of the public opinions on people, where you can tell how people are feeling. ESPN's post that DeChambeau won the U.S. Open, the most liked comment, with almost 4 times as many likes as the second most liked comment, calls him it simply just says the most entertaining golfer in the world. The people enjoy him to the nth degree. Whether or not he deserved it at all points in his career, I think he's back on the upswing.
I love his hat. I love his hat he wears. I love the golf ball with the crossbone tee. I think it's great. I love his hat, but I miss him when he wore the it's not the fedora, but I forget what that's called, like the beanie. Yeah, the beanie hat or something like that.
Beret.
The beret, thank you. The beret. Yeah, I wish he needs to have that logo on the front and wear it backwards and wear the beret. That's what he needs. I miss the beret for DeChambeau, but other than that, it's great. That was fun to watch, and we'll have more on the U.S. Open coming up here in just a little bit, I'm sure. My quick winner of the weekend before we get to break is college baseball and the College World Series. You want to talk about a great weekend it was in Omaha. It started Friday night. So of the 4 first-round games, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday, of the 4 first-round games, 3 of them were walk-off winners, and the other one, it took a catch at the wall, robbing a home run, to prevent possibly an upset win there at the College World Series. Tennessee, in the very first game of the weekend on Friday night, overcame a 4-run deficit with 6 outs and came back and won 12-11. North Carolina had a Vance Honeycutt walk-off single to win 3-2 over Virginia. That wrapped up a Friday. And then Saturday, you had Kentucky take down NC State on a walk-off solo homer in the bottom of the 10th. And then Texas A&M holding off Florida, once again with the catch at the wall, to get a 3-2 victory. I mean, some highly entertaining baseball in Omaha to open up the CWS. Yesterday, we saw Tennessee blow the doors off of North Carolina to put themselves in great position to try and play for a national title. The goal is always to get to a 2-0, to win your first 2 games. Now, Tennessee gets 2 days off to rest and almost reset their pitching, while Florida State takes down Virginia 7-3, and that will send the Virginia Cavaliers home. They're the first team eliminated at the Men's College World Series. Today, there will be 2 more games, Florida and NC State, in an elimination game this afternoon at 1 Central, noon Mountain. And then tonight in the nightcapper, Kentucky and Texas A&M meeting for a chance to see who can go 2-0 and be in the catbird seat starting up here tonight. So, like I said, it was a great weekend for college baseball. Some very entertaining games, some very good stuff. So I think college baseball, a humongous winner of the weekend, because if you hadn't watched much of it, your entire postseason or season, and you just tuned in to watch some good, something entertaining, you got it. It was great, especially Friday and Saturday. It was really, really good. So college baseball and the College World Series, my winner of the weekend.
Certainly deserving of it. All 4 games, like you said, decided by 1 run, and almost all of them walk-offs. I mentioned just a moment ago how you can sort of see comments on social media posts as a reading of how people are feeling, not always entirely accurate, but regardless, the SEC network on TikTok posted that Hunter Ensley catch from Tennessee yesterday in their, I think it was a 6-1 win.
He went crashing into the wall in center field.
Go find this. If whether you got to wait till after the show or you're watching
into the wall.
We're going to a break in a minute here, so look it up on your phone. This is full speed, full tilt, makes the grab, and just Derrick Henry's himself into this wall. Just boom. It's an unreal catch. But the top comment is, again, with 4 or 5 times as many likes as any other comment, this might be the greatest CWS ever.
It's highly entertaining.
That is a huge statement to make, and I'm not going to endorse it as not really having watched CWS before the last year or so. But that's a phenomenal catch, and that's a phenomenal start to this weekend into the College World Series, certainly deserving of winner of the weekend.
Yeah, and the SEC is right now really feeling good because despite Florida losing, the SEC went, I think, 3-1 in the first 4 games. So am I right on that? I want to make sure I'm correct on that. I think that's right. Because Friday,
Tennessee
won. Yep. So they went 3-1, and the only reason they lost because one team had to lose. So the SEC really show it flexing here in Omaha, but it's a long way from being over. Just because you're 2-0 doesn't mean it means that you probably have a good chance of advancing the championship series. Doesn't mean you're going to make it. Look out for Florida State. They'll be on the rebound, and I would say look out for Florida as well. They'll be a team that'll be very hard if they can win today. So the College World Series and college baseball, my other winner of the weekend. And I would agree with Christian as well. Bryson DeChambeau, a very big winner of the weekend. All right, let's get to a break. When we come back, losers of the weekend next here on the Morning Blitz.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. N76, visit staples.com/print for details.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
My car.
but what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you file your claim right on the State Farm mobile app. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, Jared Law with the Andersons in Overland Park, Kansas, with your morning market update. July corn down 4.5 in the overnight at 445.5. September down 5.25 at 451.75. December down 5.5 at 464.3. Soybeans on the July down 15.5, 11.64.25. September down 14.75 at 11.53.5. November down 13, 11.36.25. KC wheat on the July down 15.25 at 6.12.25. September down 14.25 at 6.22. December down 13.75 at 6.41 even. Feeder cattle last week finished 261.97.5. Live cattle 186.82.5. Lean hogs 91.15. Crude oil futures up 26 cents a barrel at 78.71. Gold futures down 15.10 an ounce at 2,321.90. Silver down a dime 29.38. U.S. dollar index up just a point at 105.56.5. Dow futures down 103 at 38,502. S&P down 5 at 5,402. Need to move any cash, grain, or want to talk about risk management? Can reach out to myself, Jared Law, Tom Sluto, Tyler Gosha at 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, you can reach out to John Hankey at 970-744-4484.
At Case IH, we know you work hard all year to maximize your yield at harvest. And to do that, you need a combine that works as hard as you do. That's why we built the new AF11 with more horsepower, more efficiency, and more capacity than any other combine out there. Plus, built-in automation to harvest more easily than ever before. To do more with every engine hour, you need equipment that's as good as you are. You need the best in your field. Visit your local Case IH dealer for more on the AF11.
There are a lot of inconsistencies when growing soybeans. The soil, the weather, the market. You need something you can count on, like Revitech fungicide from BASF. It consistently outyields other fungicides by up to 9.5 bushels per acre, consistently wins in on-farm head-to-head comparisons, and consistently makes for happy farmers. Revitech fungicide. Visit revxfields.com for full results. Always read and follow label directions. Yield data based on summary of 2019 through 2022 RevX field scale demonstration trials.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
If you're looking for a more convenient way to access your funds and view your account, then sign up today for Internet Banking. Internet Banking allows you to view your accounts from your computer or even your phone. You can easily transfer between your accounts, view which checks have cleared, send payments through our Bill Pay feature, and even deposit your checks by taking a picture of them. Internet Banking will make your banking experience easy. If you'd like to sign up for Internet Banking, come see me, Victoria Ratcliffe, today at 202 East 11th Street in Goodland, FNB Bank, member FDIC.
It's the Morning Blitz.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8 Mountain, 8 to 9 Central on 102.5 U Rock and the Rocking M app.
As always, you're welcome to send in your weekend winners and losers to the FNB Bank text line, 785-899-2222. Our great listener, Michael, says his winner of the weekend was his Boston Red Sox taking 2 of 3 from the New York Yankees and had a new franchise record, 9 stolen bases that had been not broken since 1940 when they had 8 stolen bags. That's the great part about baseball now, especially the major league level. Guys are being more aggressive on the bases with, especially the bigger bags and things of that sort. It's been really good to see them get after that. It's been fun. I was watching a Diamondback game, I think 2 nights ago, and the D-backs lost to the White Sox, which is not good. They did take 2 or 3 from the series, but apparently the White Sox stole like 9 bags or something like that against the Diamondbacks, all because a guy was tipping his pitch or something like that. I was reading. So
in one game.
In one game, that's right. One game, not good.
That's tough.
Not good. No, you got to figure out what that is and get that corrected immediately, buddy. We might have another Diamondback reference here a little bit later on in weekend losers. We're on weekend winners and losers, but we're on to the losers of the weekend, and there's really only one really big loser of the weekend.
Yeah, I've got a couple of really small ones, but I think we should start where we started our weekend winners with the U.S. Open and Rory McIlroy. My goodness. First off, shout out to Rory for being in the mix late. And honestly, for the first 14 or 15 holes of Sunday, he was on an absolute mission. He came into the day, Sunday that is, 3 strokes behind Bryson. And then by, I think, the 14th hole, had a 2-stroke lead. That's a 5-stroke swing in about 14 holes, I believe it was. Awesome play from Rory, and you're thinking this could be the one. He's about to break that decade-long drought of majors, and he was just playing great golf. That ended very abruptly. First off, on the 16th hole, Rory had shot walking onto that 16th green, 496 of 496 on putts within 3 feet. That's this calendar year on the tour. 496 putts for Rory inside of 3 feet. He made every single one. That was until green 16, on the U.S. Open at Pinehurst number 2 yesterday, where he missed a 2-foot 6-inch putt to forfeit at that point his 1-stroke lead, tied it up with Bryson, and then absolute heartbreak just 2 holes later. I mean, it was like a 15-minute span, and he's standing on the green at 18 in front of those grandstands with a 9-inch putt for par that would have, at the end of the day, kept it tied and forced, though he didn't know it at the time, because DeChambeau hadn't finished his round or his hole on 18 yet. It would have forced a playoff that would have been magnificent, because my goodness, that battle back and forth all day was fun to watch, and I, for one, would have loved to see more of it. But no, a tough downhill turning putt was absolutely smoked by Rory and ended up losing him the U.S. Open and his chance at a major for the first time in more than a decade. Absolutely brutal for Rory, a loser of the weekend, Mr. McIlroy.
Yeah, he no doubt was the loser of the weekend. And, you know, he was mad. I mean, when that putt went in for Bryson, they showed the camera him kind of back in that waiting room, and he took out and he went out, got in his car, and he didn't talk to media. He left. He said, I am not visiting about it. That was rough. You know, he missed a couple of putts earlier in the round, you know, that probably would have helped him a little bit there too. But yeah, that having those short tappers and missing those, which I'm not saying they're easy, because they're slippery, and if you got to hit it perfect, and if it's a little too soft or a little too hard, that changes your line, obviously. And yeah, there's no doubt Rory McIlroy is a loser of the weekend. I'm trying to think. You might have to look this up again, but I don't think he's won I know he hasn't won he won a U.S. Open at Congressional. I remember that because he ran away from the field, and that was when he was like on top of the golfing world. It was when he still wore the hats that were very, very tightly. The bills were very, very rounded. He still did that. He was
back when he had Flow.
Yeah, the Flow, and he had that sponsor on his hat that no one probably could ever remember. But that was when he was playing his absolute best. He was absolutely, and everyone thought he was going to be the next Tiger. And he really, and I think probably since that, or a little bit past that, he really hasn't been able to win. He's been there. I mean, how many top 10 finishes does this guy have in majors? I mean, just a ton. And he just can't get over the hump. I think it's going to happen. I think probably this year. May happen at the Open. We'll see. But yeah, he's had a tough stretch.
The last time that Rory McIlroy won a major championship was the 2014 PGA Chip at Valhalla.
So 10 years, been a decade.
It's been a decade. He was 25 then.
Yeah. That's hard. I mean, when you are on top of the world, and how many major chips does he have?
4, I believe.
4 majors before the age of 25.
Yeah. And
none over the next 10 years is very, very hard pill to swallow.
And especially because he's in the mix almost every time.
Yeah. And there was a chance for a while there he wasn't, but recently he's been in the mix a lot and can't get it done. And that's
4 majors.
That's heartbreaking there for Rory McIlroy. So he no doubt is the biggest loser of the weekend. I feel bad for Rory because I think he's a good guy. But you know what? He didn't completely lose the entire weekend. He was able to salvage his marriage. You know, he announced he was going to get divorced. Was that before the PGA? And he comes back at the Open, and him and his wife have resolved their issues, and they're going to stick together.
I don't know.
Not
like
a total loss.
Needles and a voodoo doll on what he was putting yesterday.
Well, I don't think you want to do that. You want more money. Mama needs more money. You ain't sticking voodoo dolls in your husband who's trying to out there and win a couple mil.
I'm sure in total he probably views himself as a winner for salvaging that marriage, which he probably should be. But on a sports show, he's a loser of this weekend.
It's a tough weekend for Rory. So yeah, I would agree. He is a loser of the weekend. I have a couple other small losers of the weekend real quickly. The LA Dodgers, a loser of the weekend. Yesterday, they lost Mookie Betts to a broken hand. Who knows how long he'll be out for. And they also lost their pitcher, one of their star signees, not their star, that'd be Shohei Ohtani. But the young man, Ohtani's good friend, Yamamoto, the pitcher, he went to the IL. And even though they're losers, I'm going to say welcome to the club, Dodgers, because the Diamondbacks have been in just about as bad of health issues and injuries popping up and plaguing them as anybody else in Major League Baseball this year. So just welcome to the club. But the Dodgers, a loser of the weekend. And one more quick one for you before I let you get the final word in. But how about Kansas City Chiefs defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs?
Former Lion, baby.
Arrested for the second time in a month.
Idiot.
He was booked on domestic violence and burglary in Alabama. This comes after he turned himself in at the end of May for 2 misdemeanor accounts and second-degree animal cruelty in the wonderful town of Tuscaloosa. Isaiah Buggs is a loser of the weekend. What are you doing?
Chiefs fans, I know that Chiefs fans tend to be very, let's say, high and mighty. And if you ever sort of wonder, because I've got one fan, and it's not who you're thinking, a friend from college.
Not? Oh, okay.
Though he falls into that category.
I was going to say, he's in that category.
I've got a friend from college who is just an obnoxious Chiefs fan. And they always tend to, why do you guys hate us so much? Why this? Why? And part of it is the fans. Part of it is the fact that your entire team is pulling a Raiders. You've got more, accounts of arrests this off season than you do free agent signings. It's just an ugly off season for the Chiefs in general, who can't follow the law. They're struggling to follow the law in the United States. Come on.
All great teams have these issues, and honestly, the only reason that people are mad at them and make fun of them because they're jealous that they're winning Super Bowl rings. That's the only.
I think that has something to do with it, but I would absolutely disagree. Not all great teams have it to this extent.
Maybe not to this extent, but usually you got to have some rough around the edge guys in a sport like football to, some of these crazy guys and rough around the edge guys to kind of be successful. And unfortunately, these are the type of things that these guys do.
Let's go off the top of my head. The Niners have been to multiple Super Bowls in the last 4 years. Name a guy that's been arrested for them this offseason.
They didn't win.
Oh, they didn't win. They're having success in the NFL. Grow up, Ross. No, Ross.
You got to have those crazy guys to get over the edge, I guess.
Ross, grow up. You can win a Super Bowl without having multiple people arrested on your team the following offseason.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying I've seen plenty of teams that have some guys that are really rough around the edges and do some dumb stuff, but those teams kind of push it over the edge a little bit.
Take,
look at Georgia football. How many guys have been arrested for racing cars and all that stuff in Georgia, yet they still win chips there down in Athens.
Be great at football. Follow the law.
I'm not disagreeing with you that they should follow the law. They should, but they don't because they think they're above the law because they are world champs. And sometimes sometimes you just get, in order to get over the top and win some of these things, you got to have some players that do some dumb things off the field, even though they do some really great things on the field. It's just kind of things that happen. Do you have any more quick losers of the weekend before we get to break?
Yeah, that's a ridiculous take, by the way. I got nothing else for you. I got a really quick one. I wanted to save this like we are for the end because I don't think it's a big deal. But the Royals are a mini loser of the weekend. They lost their series 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers and have now lost 5 of their last 7. And if you remember to just about this time, about a week ago, we were saying, look ahead. You got the Yankees, you got the Dodgers coming up. This is a big test for do you really belong at the top of the league? And I'm not saying that they don't, and I'm not saying that this is all that big of a deal that they have lost these games and that they have lost back-to-back series here because they are the best teams in the league in the Yankees and the Dodgers, but a very small mini loser of the weekend, the Royals, who have dropped 5 of their last 7 and who batted a total of 3 of 14 with runners in scoring position over that Dodgers series.
I still think, yes, I get what you're saying. 41-32. Even after these losses to the Yankees and the Dodgers, you're still 9 games above 500, and you're the Kansas City Royals. You're still feeling very, very good. I still think about your point you made last week. Starting pitching has not looked good, but the bullpen has looked all right here during these tough games.
Very true.
Once again, you're pitching without a lead. That's different than pitching with the lead. But I still think, once again, Royals fans are ecstatic with the year that they're having, being 41-32. And the schedule lightens up starting tomorrow. After a day off today, they go to Oakland to take on the Athletics. So they should be able to take at least 2 or 3 there, I would think.
You guys know I've got just as quick a trigger finger to give them a winner of the weekend, but they have lost now? I think it's actually 6 of their last 8.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been a rough stretch, but I think maybe somewhat expected considering who they were going against, which was the NL West leaders and the American League leaders at this point in time in the Yankees and Dodgers. All right, let's get to a break. Come back. The leftovers. We'll wrap up the show next. Turn the Blitz.
Save big money on your next staining project at Menards. Give your deck a makeover with Ultra Advanced. It's a semi-transparent stain and sealant in one that can be applied to damp wood, allowing you to clean and stain your project in one day. This high-quality wood stain will safeguard and enhance the natural beauty of exterior wood surfaces. Check out all our staining options and see the rest of our deals on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery ingestion and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Want to be part of the Morning Blitz?
Don't fight it. Tell me how you really feel.
Send your thoughts to our text line at 785-899-2222.
I think the Royals fans would probably take that Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting .327 this year, which, by the way, leads the majors in hitting at this point in time.
He's been incredible.
He's been amazing. He's been awesome as Bobby Witt Jr. He's been really, really good. Sorry, what was the point?
I just said Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. Anyway, so once again, we talk about the Royals. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers this weekend. The Rockies dropped 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. They won by 12 on Saturday, then lose 8-2 on Sunday. Colorado pitching rocked for 15 hits, but they lose 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. They actually remain home for a 4-game series with the Dodgers starting tonight at 6:40 Mountain Time there at Coors Field. So no Royals tonight, but Rockies will be on against the Dodgers. And let's see, what else did we miss from this weekend? We did get a text on the FB Bank text line.
Yeah,
I'm glad this person brought up. I did know this, and I just forgot to bring it up. But yeah, the Tennessee walk-off hit was hit by Hayes High's Dylan Dreiling, that's cleanup, by the way, for Tennessee. Dylan Dreiling has really, really been good. Yes, Christian Moore did have the cycle in that game 1 winner against Florida State, but it was Dreiling with the winning hit. Dylan Dreiling has been an amazing story to watch coming out of Hayes, Kansas, going to Tennessee, and he's batting cleanup. He's one of their best hitters there for Tony Vitello and the Volunteers. Been a great story in Dylan Dreiling. And let's see, what else did I miss? Well, I tell you what, we got against the clock. We'll get to it in the walk-off.
A 3-run walk-off home run. A game-winning walk-off with a walk-off.
His second walk-off hit of the season.
In walk-off fashion. That baby's go.
Edmonton keeping away the Florida Panthers there in Game 4 on Saturday night. So they'll push it to Tuesday where they'll play Game 5, maybe possibly a gentleman's sweep there in the NHL Finals. Will we see a gentleman's sweep tonight? As I correctly predicted, the Boston Celtics took their foot off the gas in Game 4. Let the Mavericks stomp them. They don't care because they're going to bring it all tonight.
Yeah, I was sort of with you that why not try and win it in Boston in front of your home crowd, but 38 is a little bit too much off the pedal, I think, so to speak, taking your foot. I think I wouldn't be surprised, and I said this, that I thought Dallas was closer to, let's say, clicking than people think. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs take another, but realistically, we're probably in for a gentleman's sweep.
Fuel up the duck boats. It's going to be a win for Boston tonight. You know, they drive the duck boats for the parade, for Boston. You don't know this, do you? Okay. Yeah, they drive the duck boats down Main Street. So fuel up the duck boats in Boston. They're going to be, they'll be partying after tonight, I have a feeling. Going to be, what? They drive the duck boats. Philadelphia, they climb they climb the light poles. That's why they have to grease the light poles.
Grease them, which is hilarious. But no, I didn't know the duck boats.
Yeah, fuel up the duck boats.
It's been a while since Boston's won.
Well, I think the Reds, yeah, that's true. It's true. But anyway, fuel them up. They're going to win tonight in Game 5. That's tonight on ABC. For Christian, I'm Ross. Been a fun